been at the gym before and you just finished an exercise, you're taking a little bit of a rest, and then all the thoughts start coming. Am I taking too long? Is this rest break too short? Oh my gosh, Johnny over there just took my equipment. What am I gonna do now? Is this actually affecting I need to be going. Today's video is gonna clear up all of that, and the answer just might surprise you. It's important for you to understand before we even begin this. In this video, we are talking about resistance training, right? Strength-based training. We're not talking about cardio conditioning work. That's a different video, which we will shoot later, we promise. So I like to think of this in terms of having guiding questions to drive the rest break that you take. And here's what I mean. The first question that you should be asking yourself is, hey, what is the rep range in the exercise or workout that I'm doing? Because there's specific goals for the rep ranges in front of you. Meaning, if you are doing 3 to 4 to 5 reps, the goal is typically a higher load or higher amount of weight to create more of a strength-based adaptation. If you have a higher rep range, let's call it 8 to 12, 8 to 15, whatever it may be, the goal is creating more of what we call a metabolic change. The rest break is going to be a little bit lower. Let me give you some specific time frames. So if you're in that 1 to 6 rep range, you should actually be shooting for between 2 to 3 minutes between those actual exercises. It seems like a lot, but remember, the intent of those rep ranges is for you to lift heavy. You need to give yourself a proper amount of rest between so that you can do that again. Higher rep range, we should shoot for more of that 30 to minute rest break between, because again, we are shooting for more of a what we call metabolic change, requires a shorter rest break, so you'll feel some of that fatigue starting to build in. Now that we have that in place, this feeds into the next question. What's the actual structure of your workouts? For instance, do you have actual supersets, which means a series of exercises one after the next? Because that might actually serve as your rest break. For instance, let's say you're doing a classic push-up. Well, then your next exercise is a row, and then your third exercise is some core work. Those second and third exercises actually give you rest from the first. You might not have to add any additional rest in there because you're already getting that. But if you have, let's just say one exercise, you have a deadlift for 3 repetitions. You might actually have to be strategic about taking that 2 to 3 minutes between there before you hit the second set. So again, pay attention to what the actual structure is. Third question to ask yourself, am I doing more multi-joint exercises or single joint exercises? For instance, am I doing a squat, which involves my knees, my hips, and maybe holding a weight on my back in front of me? Or am I doing just like a basic bicep curl, which is just my elbow joint? Single joint exercises requires less amount of rest than multiple joint exercises. On the flip side, multiple joint exercises require a higher amount of rest because of the greater demand on the body. So be aware of that. So we just gave you 3 different questions to ask yourself in determining the rest break. But think of these as a hierarchy. The most important thing is understanding the intent of the exercises. Then move on to the next one, then move on to the third one. Ask yourself these questions in that order, and it's gonna give you the most precise answer every single time. So if this video is valuable, give us a like, subscribe if you want more, and check this video out to learn how fast, how slow you should actually be doing your exercises.